they make your plan and the plan does not succeed, you will not accept responsibility for what's going on with the success or failure. So what I'm here to tell you on the outside is number one, we're trying to reinforce the clients to being successful clients for you to do a better job for your outcomes. We do an input, we put people in. Our activity is horse therapy. The output is immense. Sometimes it's tears, sometimes it's anger, sometimes it's happiness. But when it's a connection with a child that you haven't connected with, when it's a connection with a spouse that you haven't reconnected with, you break your stress in half every time you share it. You break your stress in half. And then if you share it again, you break it in half. And it becomes parts that are more manageable. And we're trying to create a client population from our activity to more successful clients. So we can deliver them to you and be an accent to what's going on here in the VA hospital. This is a constituency. In a horse therapy group, you have a horse, you have a therapist, you have sidewalkers, you have horse handlers, you have clients. You have a horse too. That horse gets something out of that. The client gets something out of it. The therapist gets something out of it. The sidewalker volunteer gets something out of it. The horse handler gets something out of it. It's this big circle that everybody receives something in this constituent process of trying to produce a successful veteran on the outside. I want to offer an opportunity for you to come visit and let other veterans say thank you wherever they're healing. Because you probably work around veterans or interact with veterans and you never know what happens. But there's ones on the other side. I've had a lot of services done here at the VA, and I'm sure some of y'all might have seen me when I wasn't awake or whatever. But you probably never get the opportunity for a veteran to come back and say, hey, I realize you made a difference in my life. That's a piece on this veteran too. They go through this whole process, and when they get to the end of it, it's still kind of an open switch. And them being able to go back to a care provider or a person or a special individual in their life that came to them in a very difficult place and either did something physically, emotionally, mentally, and helped them get over a bridge where they became successful, that veteran needs an opportunity to go back and say thank you. If you give a party for somebody that's getting married and they get gifts, it's an open switch until they go and they do the thank yous. You've got to be able to do thank yous, and that's a part that makes us whole and help us cycle the whole thing. I know this doesn't sound much like horse therapy, but these are the kind of dynamics that go in these outside soft edges. These create soft skills where there aren't any. They create opportunity for people to practice interacting with others in a positive manner. And the way that they get the only way they get the positive manner is because the horse does not give them positive feedback unless they put positive input. Because it's benign to them. We as human beings, we feel sorry for people, so we automatically give them a pass because of the fact that they've had it so hard. And I totally get the compassion. Because I'm that way too. I have to make myself be hard on some of the veterans that I interact with because that's what they have to have. But I learned that from horse. I didn't learn that from people. So the relevance of it is a connected community. We measure a resiliency platform. We have a physical, we have emotional, we have spiritual. We connect with our family and we connect with our community. There's 5 pillars of it. And we go through a process where we evaluate, we plan, and we execute. Evaluate, we plan, and we execute. Unfortunately, our veterans population gets stuck in evaluation sometimes. They get stuck in planning sometimes. They plan, and there's a lot of my friends that sit up late at night and they can think of how they're going to be successful tomorrow, and then they don't execute and they become their own biggest disappointment. So me trying to help this client population to be more prepared and bought into healing, getting better and progressing forward is what I have to offer you. I will continue to do this. I was in the Army, I rode horses. The last thing I did in the Army is I got sent to Brooke Army Medical Center in 2005, and they said, we need you to help develop a program to rehabilitate amputees using horses. Because some general officer had a great idea, and then the next thing you know, it was my job to do. And when we approached this, we had a guy that was 72 days from losing his legs in Afghanistan. And we were picking wheelchair. And all I could think about was the pain, the physical pain that they had. I literally learned through this process that that's probably one of the easiest things that they deal with. Being reconnected and having that life and things again, I've healed myself from being able to do that. And soon I found out, they said, you know, I had another guy was missing a leg, and he was about my age, he was my same grade. I could have been the one sitting in the wheelchair, and he could have been me. And what I thought was like, man, I hope we can make your pain better. He said, my daughter's getting married later on this year, and I want to be able to walk her down the aisle. Now here I'm thinking, I think I have problems. And this is a guy that wants to do something that we all take for granted every day. So it was a connected thing. We connect around this mystical, spiritual, animal, whatever you like to call it. But it's not mystical, it's reality. It stimulates parts of us that tap into our power. It's client-centric. It makes us decide whether we're going to succeed or fail, which is exactly where the responsibility should lie. We try to empower responsibility back to our clients, so when they come to you, they realize there's something in it for them. All the negative things that I hear about Veteran Health Service, I always raise my hand and I say, what was the veteran supposed to do that they didn't do? Because we're not telling that story. The veteran holds a responsibility to the success of this, and oftentimes they are the reason why, but you all get the blame for it. We want to make better veterans. We have great health care. We have great resources. We have great people working in the resources. My job is to try to prepare veterans to engage, reconnect. When I see a family that didn't get divorced, when I see a veteran that's with a child that wouldn't have anything to do with the child, that's when I feel success. And when I know I have success is when I see them go out and they share it with another person. They give it away. That's the same as saying thank you. So we're trying to constantly create a thank you mechanism because it puts perspective. When I have the guy 20 years old with no legs, he's chopped off right here. He wanted to be an all-star. Instead of an anti-tank weapon, changed his life. We picked him up, his name was Andy. Put him on a horse. I had no idea how we got there, why we were doing it. I just was, the most important thing I ever did in my whole time in the military was pick this guy up and say, whatever we have that this world has to offer you, I want to do everything I can to help you get that. That guy won a bronze medal in Vancouver Olympics in the biathlon, in the Special Olympics. He's the only American to ever win any medal in the biathlon, where you actually shoot and run and do different things. Anyway, success story. And that's not me, it's collective. We're from a great country that has a great bunch of people that do and care a lot about each other. The past 15 years have been hard on us. But being able to come back together, create an environment where our veterans want to be successful, it's going to take external things. My fraternity has to take responsibility for it. I have to take responsibility for helping the success of each and every one of them. But if I can't say anything else to you today besides, if you hear about horse therapy, if you want to hear about horse therapy, it's out there. You Google veteran horse therapy, Central Texas, United States. If you would have done that in 2005, you would have got hits on veteran, you got hits on horse, you got hits on therapy. You'll get 1.4 million in a half a second. That's how powerful this is growing. It's in every state, it's in every corner of the United States as well as the greater world. And the reason why is because in a time when we're thinking all our solutions are supposed to come from an external source, it puts us back in and says, you have power inside of you. And you need to tap into that power. And you need to realize that the remainder of the sum may not be what you thought it used to be, but you do have a remainder and you do have a potential, and there is something out there for you. And whenever it's time for you to understand why you're still on this earth, why were you spared when others weren't, it'll be crystal clear. You will know. And to see somebody get reconnected and understand that there is a reason for them to still be on this earth. It's where my power gets raised up. And no matter how rough my days go, I know if I keep moving my feet, that I will reconnect and I will get other people and there will continue to be hope. And it'll be greater every single time. My stress breaks in half when I share it. My hope gets greater when it comes back. And that's what happens to me through a horse. I want to tell every single one of you, thank you. I'll be glad to answer any questions. They wanted me to do 20 minutes, trying to keep it right there and give time for questions. Anybody have any questions? What's your questions? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you get the wounded warriors. You take them for free. There's no cost for a wounded warrior to come to the Rock Ranch, correct?
Yeah. My main facilities in Georgetown, they were my original partners, Rock, right on Center for Kids. We have a program called Rock on Veterans. We spend a couple $100,000 on veteran services every year. We raise that money within the Central Texas community. Veterans don't pay. Most clients don't pay full price. We'd like for it to be dispensed, just like if you're going to a physical therapist or whatever. We're not there yet. I think that maybe in the future it will be. When you give a consult, you authorize a certain number of visits. And it would be interesting to think, it would be interesting to find out what the residual is participating in this with the other things. Because we get a lot of feedback about changes. We see changes in behavior, we see connections, and it's all the same stuff that we're working on as a whole in Veterans Health Services. So yeah, it's free. Yes, ma'am.
So the wounds don't necessarily have to be amputation or whatever. What about psychiatric? What if they're like, you feel like they're high risk for suicide, but they're not really having a plan, but patients like that?
We see that a lot. We see people that are from, I just pulled you off the bridge, we're going to jump off of it, and we go into it, and we get in this process, and we see how it comes out of that, versus people that are transitioning. I really like to catch people before they leave the military. I like them to have a transitional community. We try to be that community, because one of the things that veterans don't do very well is they don't ask for help. You know, have you been to the VA? Oh yeah, I heard the VA. Well, it's a lonely, the blue line. It's a lonely line. You know, it's a real lonely line, especially when you're a retired first sergeant and you don't need anyone. You're the fixer. You're not the one that asks for help. So being able to take what's called the right seat, everybody in here has been in the military, especially if you've been deployed, you know what a right seat ride is. It's where somebody takes you to the places that you're going to interact. You're going to get a checklist. You're going to be able to see where it's an overlap. And it's amazing what people will do if you can get them started and take them through the first couple of doors and take some of the unknown out of it. If you give them a checklist and tell them where they're going to find their information and who to talk to if they have those questions, boom, they take up and they start doing it. But imagine if you got to Iraq and the person you were replacing met you at buyout, the airport there, and said, hey, your job's over there, we'll see you later. And they didn't show you anything, and you've never been there. That's the kind of magnitude that some people think of going to the VA and asking for help. But if we can get their feet moving, get them stepping, which is what we're going to keep doing, and trying to do that. On the other side, we would love to have you come visit in Georgetown. We meet on Tuesday nights. Me and Chapel can help you connect with that. We feel that it's good for our care providers and our veterans to interact in a place that's not about trying to heal, just in a casual place where we can have more connected relationships. And this is going to provide veterans an opportunity to share their appreciation, which is something that doesn't always cycle through, because some veterans are stuck in the fact, why should I do this your job? You're not doing a good enough job. You want me to appreciate you? No, stop. We have to change the expectations, and when they can have the ability to go back and say thank you for what you've done for me, that's a powerful switch process, and it gets into neuroplastics in the brain, and you start laying down code, and you have more resiliency training. We see lower recidivism rates with these reinforced type of structures. It's not just horses. There's other activities. If you have a community that you interact in regularly, you do it around somebody that you connect with, your outcomes are more positive no matter what's going on, whether you're going to counseling, whether you're going for major surgery or anything. Community. We provide that, and you all are part of it, and we're going to extend that offer to you and let some veterans serve you, because they want to say thank you. They need to say thank you. A piece of me comes better because of the fact that I can come in here and tell all y'all thank you. Any more questions?